works. So recently, I got a comment on one of my videos asking about the chord fingering I was using on my guitar. What chords I was using. So, you may have noticed me using these different chords in the last couple of videos. I've really grown to love it. But I actually learned these chords about over a year ago now. I didn't like them at first. So these are chords in the key of E. And when you're playing chords, you can either just play the chord it says. For instance, like, this is a G as much as a G can be. This is a C. This is a D, E minor. And it sounds fine and good, but there's a bit of a jarringness between them. They don't flow super well. So for instance, playing the key of G still, I could play some different chords instead of just G. So, for instance, here's a G, C2, D sus, E minor 7, and A minor 7. Compared to just G, C, D, E minor, they flow a lot more, a lot nicer. Now, this is possible for any key, and with the chords in the key of E, they're a bit difficult to play because if you want to play them the open way at least. Like you could play E, chords not open, like here's E, A, this is like a B7 I think, but all that sounds kind of very different from each other, the chords. Now especially when you're playing like praise and worship songs, it's really nice if the chords flow between each other really well. If you're playing a rock song, you may want that sort of jarring sound between chords. But as someone who plays a lot of praise and worship, these chords are very handy. They're just easier to sing with. It's more open to mistakes. Like, some of the chords sound really similar, so you can just play the wrong chord and it's like, okay, it's not like that's the wrong chord. So, I'm going to show you the chords I use now in E. So, the main one, with your pointer on the, I think this is the 2nd string, on the 7th fret, and then your ring and your pinky are going to be playing the ones below it, but on the 9th fret, you're going to be playing the next 2 strings down. So it's strings 2, 3, and 4 being covered. Pointer finger is here, ring and pinky are here. And this is an E. I think it's just a normal E. It says in my book it's a normal E. I wrote this at net training this year. Now, for A, very simple, all you have to do to switch is take off your pointer finger. That's your A. And that's actually an A2. For B, you play a B sustained. So now you're going to take your pointer, instead of putting it on the 2nd string, you're going to put it on the 1st string. But something important about B is while you're playing this note, pressing it down, you also will be muting the next string. So this one here is not getting any sound. Because if it did, this does not fit at all in with the chord. It's a very subtle change. Some people will actually just put a finger there to mute it, but as it is, my fingers are struggling to push a string, so it just naturally mutes it for me, which I'm fine with. But if it doesn't do that, just put your finger gently on it to mute it. Then there's C sharp minor 7. So now you take off your pointer finger. Your middle finger is going to go on the same fret as your ring and pinky now, and push down the 1st string. And same as the B chord, it's going to be muting the 2nd string, because once again that note doesn't fit. Get your C sharp minor 7 actually. And now there's 2 more chords which are sometimes used, which are F sharp minor and G sharp minor. It's an F sharp minor 11, and then I don't know what the G sharp minor is. But to play your F sharp minor, so the same shape as your fingers in the C sharp minor 7, you're going to bring your fingers all the way down to the 2nd fret and play that. So you're still muting the 2nd string. Everything's exactly the same as the C sharp minor, just 2nd fret. And for a G sharp minor, or whatever it is, move it up, your fingers up, same shape, to the 4th fret, and play that. And there you go, 6 chords, which are the main 6 chords you need for anything. And I play some songs that have chords outside of this. For instance, 1970 something, a song I recorded a cover of it in G something, I don't know what. But I now like to play it in E, and there's a chord in there, I don't even know what it is, but to play that in the key of E, it's not in these 6 shapes that are easy to get to. But a G sharp minor sounds very similar, so I usually just play that. And most of the time, if you're looking at a song in the key of E, and you're like, that's not one of the 6 chords I know for this key, if you just try a couple other chords and see one sounds similar. It's kind of cheating, but it sounds good. It works. The F sharp minor and G sharp minor, the ones down here, are tricky to get to. And there's going to be a lot of sliding noise. It does get better. I remember when I first started playing these chords, I just couldn't. I was like, these sound cool, but my fingers cannot keep up. Especially back then, I didn't have any calluses on my pinky finger, so I do now. And it's quite a workout on your fingers. But here's a trick that I didn't discover until 2 weeks ago. Which was mainly because I was playing and I was trying to finger pick in the key of E, so just going individual strings. And I was like, wait, I'm not even playing this string right. I had to really, really push extra hard to get any noise, and it didn't sound that good. But I'm like, when I'm playing, it sounds fine. But when I try to actually see what they sound like, I'm like, these don't sound that good, the ones I'm pressing. The thing is, you don't need to push them hard for it to sound good. Because the 3 notes these are playing, so I'm going to push them hard now, these 3 are the exact same notes being played in the open strings, ones with no fingers on them. Just different octaves, or even the same octave sometimes. So so this is now an E, the 2nd string. This one here, the 3rd string, is the same as the 5th string, and the 4th string is the same as the 6th string. So when you're learning this, you don't have to worry about pushing your fingers hard down yet. I'm going to now not even try to push it hard, just by putting my fingers on the strings and play. It still sounds good. This is now me pushing hard. And now not pushing hard. There's a bit of a difference, but you can totally play without pushing hard. So the key of E looks hard. You're pushing on strings that are really high up the fret, and there's higher action there, they're further from the fretboard, but you also don't have to push hard. For instance, in the case of G, if I don't push hard, so this is me pushing hard in G, but if I don't push hard in G, this is what it sounds like. It sounds just flat. So, key of E looks intimidating, especially as a beginner, but it actually can be very, very easy to play in. And especially because these chords, even more than the G open chords, the ones that sound similar to each other, the E open chords, at least in my opinion, sound really, really close to each other. So it's very okay to make mistakes in. It'll sound okay. This video's getting long. I think that's everything. Key of E, it's really fun. It doesn't work for every song though. For instance, as I said before, I like to play the song 1970 something in key of E sometimes, but it just does not sound the same as not open chords, because it's pretty much a rock song, 1970 something, and quite abrasive chords sounding in the actual song, so when you play it with these E open chords, it just sounds very, very different. So keep that in mind. It doesn't work for every song. It also might not be a key that's good for you to sing in. I have found most songs are perfect for me to sing in key of E, but not all of them, so I love the key of E, but I can't use it in all songs. There's some songs like Good Good Father, which I love in the key of E, but it has an F sharp minor in it if you're playing in the key of E. But, as I said before, the trick of listening to chords that sound similar. Where is my Good Good Father? H. Oh, H is after G. And F sharp minor is a lot in this song. It's in the main notation, especially in the chorus. So it's really hard to play that consistently. But I've found C sharp minor sounds almost just as good as F sharp minor. So for instance, here it is, the chorus of Good Good Father with F sharp minor. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. So that's F sharp minor. That was the one low down here. Now I'm going to play that same thing with C sharp minor instead. Because you're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. It sounds pretty good still. If you're playing for and never heard it with this proper chord, they would not be able to tell. So, that's what I like about the key of E. Chords sound similar to each other, so a lot of times when there's a chord that's hard to play, just play an easier one that sounds similar. There's a lot of sliding noises in this. I've written in my book here also. that sliding is okay if you're playing live, because no one's going to hear it, especially if people are singing with you. If you're recording, they say try to lift your hand when going down. I've not mastered that, so I usually just slide anyway. Sounds so good. I love these chords. Yeah. So that's my rant about the key of E. Hope I didn't talk too fast. Thanks. Bye.